All right. Well, hopefully you can see my screen. I just wanted to let you know we do have upcoming events that you can register for. We've got More Than Milk coming up here next Saturday. Perinatal and postpartum fitness, Smudgy, the versatile burp cloth, and then your family and legacy. You can register for any of these events on our Eventbrite page. Okay. And then I'm with the Mommy Care Kit company, and we actually have a perinatal slash postpartum kit that we offer to moms. It is covered by most healthcare plans, and you get all of these items there. You could qualify for all of these items. We've got the breast pump, compression socks, the TENS unit, the 3-in-1 postpartum garment, the lower back support, and then the DVT prevention to help prevent blood clots. And I'll be dropping these links in the chat as well. And then this call will be recorded and it'll be uploaded to our YouTube channel where you can also see all of the past recordings that we have. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see all of the recordings that we've had over the last couple of months. Feel free to do that. And all of these links, like I said, will be in the recap email that I'll send over. So as far as the kit itself, if you do want to see if you qualify, you will go to the mommycarekit.com, click on this button. It'll take you to the short application to fill out. And you can just fill it out and we will get in touch with you to let you know if you do qualify. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So this is how it looks. Short application. If you can apply for the breast pump. If not, you just check off no on there. Okay. Now, with no further ado, we've got Dr. V in the house. She's going to be coming for us talking about sound birthing. And I will be dropping her links in the chat as well, her Instagram, and she's got her LinkedIn, and we've got her Facebook link that we'll be adding as well. And then she's also on TikTok too. So without no further ado, I am going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to hand it over to Dr. V. All right.
Hi, everyone.
Right. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. V. You can call me Sam. I'm going to share first with you the agenda for this event. If you're anything like me, I get a Zoom call anxiety when I don't know what's coming or how long it's gonna last. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself when I finish the agenda. We're going to do a slideshow. It is a lot of slides. It's 73 slides, but it's not a long presentation. So if you see that number, don't panic. I'm not going to keep you here forever. Then we'll do a brief activity and the activity is more on your own. Then we'll do a practice together and then we'll have time for questions. This is the activity we're going to do. It's called an eco map, and I'll explain it more later, but I also want to show you because this PDF document will be in the chat. This will also be for you. It's 7 surprising ways to have a fearless birth. And there's a QR code down here at the bottom that will take you to a sound bath, specifically my Balinese night rain sound bath. So a little bit about me. I have a PhD in the psychology of childbirth, which is a very niche, we just dropped the PDF into. Obviously a very niche area, but I am fascinated by birth, by human milk feeding, by all the things that the human body can do. It's pretty amazing, but specifically how the mind impacts all of those things. I taught yoga for many years. I am a 500-hour yoga instructor, and then I have several additional yoga certifications. I am a certified sound therapist, which is where the sound bath comes in. I'm also a sexual health educator and a social worker. So kind of span the gamut, but I have put all of these things together to create this world of sound birthing. And I wrote Mind Body Birth, Your Guide to Fearless Childbirth. I took everything that I learned while I was doing my doctoral dissertation, all of my research, and I put this together to create a new approach to birth. At this point, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Lamaze, Bradley method, hypnobirthing. What you may not know is that These programs are based on research from the 1940s. They're written by men, and we don't give birth now the way that we used to. A lot of things have changed. And so I felt it was important to have a research focused, up to date approach to giving birth. And the way that I got here is that I overheard a conversation between two women, and it was an older woman and a younger woman. And the younger woman was saying, I don't really think I want to have kids. I don't know. But everybody says when you hold that baby for the first time, everything changes. And the older woman got really quiet and she said, yeah, that didn't happen for me. And the way that she said it, I turned around and I said, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but did I hear you say you had a C-section? And she said, yes, I had an emergency C-section. And I was right in the middle of writing my dissertation. So I just went, oh, the medications that they give you during a C-section can block the oxytocin receptors in your brain. So even though oxytocin is flooding through your body, you might not feel that bonding that's happening with your baby. And she stared at me and she said, for 20 years, I've thought something was wrong with me. Why didn't anybody ever tell me? And all I could think is, there is so much that they don't tell you. And in that moment, I was like, I don't want anyone to ever feel the way that this woman feels ever again. So that's what brought me here. So without further ado, I'm going to start the presentation. Any questions before we jump in? As we go through, if you have a question, you can pop it in the chat, but we will have time for questions at the end. Okay, so, oops, oh, sorry, I clicked out of it. One second. Okay, we good? Can everybody good?
Yes, so far.
Okay, perfect. I realized I cannot see the chat box anymore. So Rita, if you see a question, could you just let me know?
For sure.
Amazing. Okay. So from fearful to fearless birth, what do you think of when you think of birth? Feel free to shout it out if you have an answer.
Pain.
Pain. Anybody else? What do you think of when you think of birth?
Medical interventions.
Medical interventions. Okay. Anybody else?
Joy.
Ooh, I like that one.
Like that one. Someone else said intense.
Intense.
Yes.
Okay. Is it this? Maybe?
We've got doctors and nurses.
Oh, okay.
The ring of fire.
Okay, I'll go back.
We've got emotional. We've got fear.
Okay.
Partner support.
Pitocin.
Okay. So when you think of birth, do you think of this? Or maybe this?
We can't see
Or
the slide though. Hit
What?
present. We can't see the slide. It's like stuff.
Oh, sorry, you can't see the slide.
There we
Whoops.
go. Oh wow. Oh yeah, we can see that.
Okay.
Are you able to
Let's
make it
go
bigger?
back then.
Can you make it
Okay.
bigger, a little bit bigger?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it went away. Can you see it now?
Nope, hit the button again.
Oh, your screen sharing is paused. There we go. How do I? Oh, resume. There we go.
Okay,
You
so hit
see it?
present. Nope, not yet.
Huh. Why is it
It's
pausing?
got to be a way, maybe at the top where you can hit play on there.
Yeah,
You see at the top where it says
Hmm.
presenter view.
Yeah, it says resume, but nothing happens. Let me see. Sorry about that, everybody. No wonder you were confused. Okay, let's escape one more time. We'll try it
Okay.
again.
All right.
Go back here. Could you see it at any point or never?
We did just that first slide, just that first, like the beginning of it, where it says fearless birth. That was it.
Let's try this. Oh, participants can see, but you can't see.
Share the link with me and see if I'm able to do it on my end, and we just go slide by slide.
Okay, there might be one give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop sharing. I do have it just downloaded.
Okay.
We'll do it that way. Sorry, everybody.
That's all right. Sometimes a Canva, I don't know. We had another presenter, same situation where it wouldn't share it properly. We'll pause.
Okay, so
All right, let's go.
I apologize for the lack of custom fonts, but from fearful to fearless. So, what do you think of when you think of birth? We already got a lot of answers, but do you maybe think of this? Or this? Or this? Or this?
Oh, wow.
This is called the screaming birth trope, and it is the most common way that birth is depicted in the media. Think back to when you have seen birth in TV, in movies. It probably looked like what I just showed you. So you might be wondering, okay, why does that matter? Who cares how birth is depicted on TV? Seeing screaming birth over and over again can make your birth more painful. This is true. Seeing screaming birth depicted over and over again will make your birth more painful. So, I want to talk to you about berries. Humans are social animals. Our brains are very, very old, and we had to trust to survive. So, way back when you were living in a small community in a cave, when somebody said to you, "These berries are poisonous," what do you think happened if you didn't believe them? You probably didn't stick around long enough to pass on your own genetic material. We had to learn to trust in order to survive. Our brains had to learn to trust in order to survive. So we have what's called the mind-body connection. And in the past, this wasn't considered very scientific. It was this sort of like hippie woo-woo thing, right? But we now know that it is very scientific. It's not some hippie woo-woo thing. But to make it sound scientific, so the scientists can feel better about themselves, we call it the biopsychosocial. So what this means is you have the biological, what is happening in your body. You have the psychological, what is happening in your mind, and you have the social, what is happening in your environment. And all of these things work together to influence each other, and they create your experience. So let's say you're feeling sad. That's psychological. So you visit a friend, that's social. Your friend makes you laugh, that's psychological, but it's also social. So you can see how these things start to become connected and they influence your experience. Who knows about cortisol? You guys familiar with cortisol? We commonly refer to cortisol as the stress hormone, and it plays a really important role in the body's stress response. But it is very important. We oftentimes, when something has some sort of negative thing that it does, we dismiss it altogether and we're like, cortisol is terrible. Cortisol is not terrible. It is very important. Too much cortisol is the problem. But here is where cortisol is important to you, is that it makes pain feel more painful. So if I were able to create an amount of pain, right? So let's say you have this much pain with this much cortisol, this is what it will feel like. But if you have this much pain with this much cortisol, it will feel like this. More cortisol, your pain feels more painful, even in the same amount. We talked about berries, now we're going to talk about bears. So, again, we're going way back. The brain is very, very old. If you were out and about, you're hunting for these berries, right? Because somebody told you those berries are poisonous. So now you got to find new berries. You're out looking around for berries and you see a bear. You have a couple of choices. You can fight the bear. You can run from the bear. You can freeze and hope that the bear doesn't see you. Whatever happens, though, in the end, there is a resolution. So we fight the bear, we flee from the bear, we freeze and hope the bear goes away. We oftentimes call this part of the body the fight, flight, or freeze. There's another F in there, which instead of giving that F, I'm going to say finding yourself in a romantic entanglement. So this is one of the two systems of the body. It has, sorry, I'm going to jump back. The brain is very old and it has a lot of parts. And there are two parts that are really important in this specific area. We have the fight, flight, freeze, or finding yourself in a romantic entanglement part. And then we have the rest and digest part. So the stress our body is designed for is the bear stress. It is when you go out, you see this bear, you fight it, you run away from it, you freeze, and then the situation is over. The stress that we find ourselves in a lot today is the stress of the 24-hour news cycle, the stress of social media that goes off on your phone all the time, the stress of a boss who can contact you whenever they want to. There's no weekends off, there's no nights off, there's no shutting it off. Our brains are not designed for this. Our brains are designed to have a resolution. So the two systems are the F system and the rest and digest system. The F system does the thing, right? It runs from the bear. The rest and digest system recovers from the thing. So after you fight the bear or you run away from the bear, your body goes into this rest and digest system where it can recover. This is where healing happens. This is where our body regenerates. And so when you never get away from the F system because of the constant bombardment, you can't go into the rest and digest system and you can't recover. The problem here is birth is not a bear. You can't fight birth. You can't freeze it. You can't flee from it. You can't F it away. That's kind of how you got here in the first place. The only thing you can do is face it. You have to face birth head on. So you're probably now going, why do bears, berries, and TV shows mean that your birth will be painful? I'm going to explain it. So it really is all connected because of that mind-body connection we talked about before. You hear a scary story about birth, so let's say it's on TV, and you take those stories to heart, like with the berries, because you've had to learn to trust what you hear in order to survive. And then your brain doesn't know that these stories are just stories. Your brain believes these stories are bears, big, scary bears who have come to attack you. And so your body reacts to bears, creating cortisol, and cortisol makes your pain feel more painful. So we see something on TV, our brain believes it because it's learned that it has to, and then our brain reacts as though this is going to happen to us and that it's very real. And then we have a physical reaction in the body where more cortisol is produced and birth is more painful. So you become stuck in a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe that birth will be awful, which creates fear. And then your body has a response, which is cortisol. Cortisol creates more pain. When you're experiencing a lot of pain, there's more fear, which creates more cortisol, which creates more pain, and then it reinforces the belief. So what happens is someone goes into labor and they have that first contraction and they think, everything everybody said was true. This is going to be the worst thing in the world. And then their cortisol rises. And that makes birth more painful. We're going to nip that in the bud. So prior to the pandemic, it was estimated that 15% of pregnant people found the idea of childbirth so terrifying it impacted their daily lives. During the pandemic, that number rose to 62%. 62% of women found the idea of giving birth so terrifying that it impacted their daily lives. So if you are feeling scared of childbirth, you are definitely not alone. It is a totally normal and valid way to feel. Feeling unsure and even utterly terrified makes complete sense. You all saw those pictures at the beginning of the presentation. It took us a second to get there, but you did eventually see them. But those pictures are a lie. Every single one of you has been lied to. Childbirth doesn't have to be awful. It doesn't. No one lied to you on purpose. No one was being malicious or mean or trying to trick you. They got stuck in their own self-fulfilling prophecy. But your childbirth, this time, this baby, this story does not have to be awful. Childbirth can be joyful and amazing and fearless. I know it. I know it with science. You have the power to change your story. Okay, so what I'm going to need everybody to do right now, and hopefully we don't crash the Zoom, I need every single one of you, I don't care where you are. I mean, maybe if you're like watching this while you're at work, don't do this, but everybody else, unmute your microphone. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see all the microphones unmute.
Okay.
Okay, we got more. Unmute them. Unmute them. Is everybody unmuted? Okay, you're all going to repeat after me. Ready? I have power.
I
have power.
have power.
Again, bigger, louder. I have power.
I
I have
power.
All right, I'm going to need you to take it up like 25%. 1, 2, 3, go.
I have
power.
One more time. Biggest you've ever said it. This is the most true statement you've ever going to say.
I have power.
Amazing. Okay, pause. How does that feel in your body?
That's good.
Notice how you feel right now. It
Good.
feels good.
Good
That's
feeling.
good.
Feels strong, right? Because you do have power. You have so much power in so many aspects of your life. But right now, in this moment, you have the power to change your birth story and to stop the self-fulfilling prophecy. You can stop the story. It can be so hard to unhear stories that you've already heard. So you're going to need to remind yourself every day, every hour of every day from now until you give birth, whatever story you heard, whatever terrible, awful nightmare thing, that is not you, not this baby, not this birth. We're all going to do it again. You don't have to unmute, but you can if you want to. It's fun to speak together as a group. So ready? Not me, not this baby, not this birth. Not me,
Not me.
not this
Not this
baby,
baby.
not this birth. One more time. Not me,
Not me.
not this baby, not this birth. This birth will be joyful and amazing and awesome, and the kind that you want to scream about from the rooftops because you are bursting with love over the experience that you have had. You have the power to stop the fear and pain cycle right now. You really just need to believe that you can do it. It seems like it's fake, right? Like I'm in a Disney movie and I'm telling you to wish on a star, but it's true. I've seen the research, I've seen the science. I know that by believing your birth doesn't have to be terrible, that it can be joyful and amazing and fearless. You can make your birth joyful and amazing and fearless because your cortisol will stay low and your pain will stay low. You also have the ability to trick yourself into that rest and digest system. Remember, we talked, there are two systems. There's the one, the F system that does the thing, and the rest and digest that recovers from the thing. When you are in rest and digest, your body is at peace, your body is healing, your body feels good. It's relaxing. Rest and digest is where you relax, and you can trick yourself into doing it. So I want everybody, we're going to take a full, deep, expand your belly as much as you can. Inhale. And then we're going to sigh it away. Beautiful. We're going to do it 2 more times. You can unmute if you want to. Again, it's fun to do it as a group. Deep inhale. And sigh it away. And after this third one, we're all just going to sit quietly. Deep inhale. And really let it go. And sit quietly and notice what you feel in your body. Notice how your breath is moving through your body now. Notice how your shoulders feel, how your jaw feels, how your hands feel. Notice how you feel. Does anyone want to share how it feels?
Relaxing.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
Good. You feel good? You
Yes.
just tricked your brain. You tricked your brain into rest and digest. And you know what? You can do that the whole time you're giving birth. You can do it when you're waiting for the bus. You can do it when your boss is being mean. You can do it when something upsetting happens on the TV. You can do it whenever you want. That's yours. You can have it. It's always there for you. Your breath is always there for you. And if you're interested in the science of why the breath does that, there's science behind there. We can talk about it later. No, again, one more time, pause. We did all that. How do you feel? Okay, so breath work is one of the research-backed methods to improve your birth experience and your birth outcomes. The science is there. It helps. But you, all of you, have already taken the first and most important step in having a fearless birth. You have learned about the big lie. That's the most important thing, because when we are stuck in this belief, this false belief that childbirth is terrible, nothing else really helps, because we're stuck in this cortisol pain cycle, this fear pain cycle. But you all now know that it is we're going to pretend we're in a room together and you're all going, lie, right? We now all know that it is a lie. You have learned that you have the ability to change your experience. We just did it together. We changed our experience. You can do this. You have got this. Snail, yeah, you do. So, I mentioned earlier that I am a yoga instructor, and one of the things that I have learned from my teacher, whenever she gives a presentation, she always ends it with a quote. And I am going to maybe share that quote with you. Oh, no, sorry, I have a little box that's preventing me from seeing the quote. I'm just gonna exit out. Okay, can you still see my screen?
Nope.
No.
You can
Okay.
see you. That's
Well,
it.
that's okay. I'm just gonna read you the quote. So, I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness the astonishing light of your own being.
Mm.
I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness the astonishing light of your own being. You all are full of astonishing light. You all have extreme power. You can change the world around you. and you can change the world for you. So, with that being said, who wants to do an activity? If you don't have a piece of paper handy, you can kind of do it mentally. You can maybe make notes on your phone, but I am going to pull this back up and we are going to talk a little bit about eco maps. So, maybe you can use the react button if you want to. Raise your hand in the thing if you are using a doula. Some people, maybe. So, I'm going to tell you right now, the research says having a doula seriously impacts your birth outcomes. Meta, 18 states, I believe, currently, doula is covered by Medicaid. Insurance is in several states too, will cover them. There's lots of resources online to help you find a doula. Oh, that's awesome. People you can share the link to your doula if you want to. So the reason doulas are important is because they provide another layer of support to your birth. One of the things that I talk about in my program is the importance of having both support people and advocates. So support person is maybe your partner, your spouse, your best friend, your mom, the person who's going to be there the whole time you're pregnant, the whole time afterwards, the person who's going to bring you ice cream or rub your feet or hold your hand. Your doula might hold your hand or rub your feet too. But generally speaking, that type of person is your support person. Your support person has two jobs: to keep their stuff to themselves so that it doesn't impact you while you are giving birth, and to be there to rub your feet and hold your hand and take care of you while you are giving birth. Your advocate is like a bouncer. It is their job to make sure that your wishes are heard, to stand there and say, no, we're not doing that. Or we have questions about that. Give me more information. Give me 15 minutes. We want to think about that. Your advocate is there to help make sure that your wishes get heard so that your support person can be focused on you and not interacting with everybody else. And doulas make incredible advocates. Not everybody is going to have a doula. That's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on an eco map. I'm going to share this again. Okay. Can we all see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So when you make an eco map, and if you don't want to do it right now, or if you want to we'll take maybe 10 minutes if you want to grab a piece of paper, and I'll be here to answer questions as you go. So you're going to put me, or you can write your name, or you can draw a little picture right in the center with a circle. And then all around you, wherever you feel like putting them, you're going to put people who exist in your life to some degree, right? And so you can put your sister, your best friend, you can put your dog, you can put the people that you work with, your bowling team, people who are in your lives. If you want to cluster them, so for example, in this eco map in the upper right-hand corner, this person has 4 people that they all work with, and so they're in a little work cluster. And then on the left side is their bowling team, and so there's 3 people, but they're all part of the bowling team. At the bottom, sort of leftish big circle is this person's cats, Missy and Nachos. And then extended family, which is mom and Nana. And then there's also some other things that are in their lives, like cooking, painting, reading. Jack is this person's partner in this example. So after you've put all the people or animals or activities or things that impact and make up your life, we will get to the next part. So I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes to write down, think about who are the people, the daily activities, the things in your life that support you or maybe really don't support you, that add or take away, just the people and things and activities that you interact with regularly. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Okay, so when you have your circles, your people, your things, your pets, your whatnot on there, you're going to look at each one of them and you're going to determine a couple of different things. Is this a stressful relationship? If it is, you do a wavy line. So you can see in this example, the person has a very stressful relationship with work, but also with cooking. Which I'm sure we all, well, no, some people love cooking, but for anybody who has to cook all the time, it can be very stressful. If you have a very strong relationship, and this doesn't necessarily mean good strong, it just means strong. So maybe you have a mom that calls you every single day just to complain about what's going on in their life and they never ask you about yours. That would be a strong relationship, but it's a giving relationship. So we're going to do an arrow away from you because, I'm sorry, that's a taking relationship. So we're going to do a dotted line with an arrow away from you because they are taking from your cup, right? They are taking your energy. So you can have a strong relationship, arrow away. You can have a weak relationship. That'll be a dashed line. So maybe on this bowling team example, you can see Janet is a strong relationship. Mac is just kind of there. And Greg is a really weak relationship. You can see that painting is a strong adding relationship. It's a giving relationship. Reading is just kind of there. Missy the cat, very strong, very giving. Nachos, it's a weak relationship and it takes a lot from this person. Mom in this one is taking and also giving, which can be true sometimes. They can be both. Relationships are complicated, but Nana is a giving relationship. So you're going to look at the people on your chart and you're going to put if it's a stressful relationship, if it's weak or strong. So again, weak is dash line, strong is solid line. If it's giving or taking, so pointing away or to, or maybe it's just a line because they're just kind of there. So if you want to take about 2 minutes to do that, and you can always work on this later. Yes, poor Nacho. Although it sounds like maybe poor this person, maybe Nacho's really me. These can be very in-depth and take a very long time to make. Sometimes it takes days to make them, depending on your life. Okay, so if anybody's looking at this and going, why did we just do this? As you get ready to give birth to, so if the father is a taker and has only given me stress, then he probably shouldn't be present at the birth. Correct. That is, yes, that's exactly right, Ashley. But not even that, because birth isn't the whole big show, right? There is also postpartum, there is recovery, there is perhaps you are going to be pumping milk or direct feeding milk. Maybe you have some sort of medical intervention and your body is physically recovering from a surgery. Maybe you have the smoothest birth in the world and you're still tired. That would make a lot of sense. Birth is exhausting. Your life gets to be yours, whether you are pregnant or giving birth or afterwards, right? So this can be a good way to help you navigate where you need to put boundaries in place. It is also a good way to highlight who you can lean on. And if you're looking at this and you're going, there is no one here I can lean on, that might be a good time to say, I'm going to look up a doula. So, any questions on that before we go to our next activity? Okay, so this is another group engagement where if you want to, we will unmute. I mentioned in the slideshow that breathing exercises have been shown to be beneficial for the birth experience and birth outcomes. And there's several different types of breathing activities, but I'm going to share with you my most favorite one. So this is a pranayama. If you're not familiar with yoga or yogic traditions, pranayama is just a breath exercise. And there are lots of different ones, but we are going to do Brahmari breath because it's really easy and I think it's a lot of fun and we can all do it together and it's going to sound super cool. But also because research shows that Brahmari breath lowers blood pressure and can even help prevent preeclampsia. So if you are someone who has been cautioned about preeclampsia or was just generally worried about preeclampsia, you can do this every day for 5 to 8 minutes and it will reduce your risk. Now, if you're someone who's like, I don't know about any of that, I don't want to do any of this, that's fine. You can just listen. And actually, listening has benefits too. But Brahmari breath is the Sanskrit word for bee. So we very easily are going to make the sound of a bee. So when we do it, we'll all take a deep breath in. And then if you want to, you can close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. That's totally optional. Some people plug their ears. Again, totally optional. I don't plug my ears. But so you're going to take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, you're going to hum like a bee. So it's going to sound like this. For as long as your exhale. Okay, we're all going to do it together. Who wants to? Any questions before we start? No. Okay, feel free to unmute if you want to join in. Otherwise, you guys can just listen to me do it. So let's give everybody a second who wants to unmute. And then we'll all take a deep inhale. And when you're ready, two more times, deep inhale. And like we did before, we're just going to sit and notice how you feel. You might notice that your breath moves more easily, that your body feels relaxed. It's lowering your blood pressure. And those who just listened, notice how it feels in your body. Do you feel more relaxed? So we just did two activities, well, an activity and a practice. I do have a class. It's an online course called Mind Body Birth. It's 7 pre-recorded self-paced videos that go through all different aspects. We talk more about the big lie and the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system and stopping the fear pain cycle. We talk about medical interventions, no judgment on them, just things to be aware of, like the woman that I talked about in the beginning of the story, in the beginning of the presentation, who had the C-section and didn't know the impact on the oxytocin receptors. Because more than anything, I mean, I want all of you to have phenomenal, wonderful, fearless births, but more than anything, I want you all to know that no matter what happens, there is nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong. You are all going to be wonderful at the next steps in your life. So we go through all of those things so that people can be prepared. We go through all the complementary and alternative medicine that's in the research. So we talk about the research study behind this Brahmari breath and several other things, acupuncture, yoga, distraction technique, and how all these things can help benefit you. And as you move through the course, you do a bunch of activities and journaling prompts, and you build your birth toolkit. And at the end, you will have your birth toolkit, which is different than a birth plan. So I think of a birth plan like a map. I'm a hiker. I don't know if anybody else is a hiker, but when you hike, it can be great to have a map, right? Lets you know where to go. But if you look around and all of a sudden you realize you're not on the map anymore, the map doesn't do you a lot of good. But having a guidebook can tell you how to figure out which way's north, how to find clean water, what plants to avoid, right? These are all the things that the birth toolkit will do for your birth should you find yourself no longer amongst your birth plan. Because unfortunately, things don't always go according to plan. I also have a second class that you can add on for people who do plan to human milk feed. Again, all based in the research, but I keep that separate because no matter what choice you're making, it is the right choice for you in this moment right now. And I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're being pressured to make a decision that isn't right for them. I also, as I mentioned, have a book. It's available at bookshop.org, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon. If you want to get it from your library and they don't have it, they can get it for you on Ingram Spark. You just have to request it. So who has questions?
And I'm going to
Because-
drop your link in the
Oh.
website as well. So I'll drop
Yeah.
your link and they can get a hold of you that
Thank you.
way.
Also, just on that note, Rita did mention, so I have a Facebook and an Instagram, which are pretty generic, like I'm doing this event, here's a thing, right? But my TikTok is I'll put it in there. It's at Cookies and Tea with Dr. V, and it's more encompassing. We talk about birth, but we also talk about sexual wellness, mental health, relationships, just runs the gamut of things that can come up in your life. And so if you have a question that's not related to birth stuff, and that's a great place, you can send me questions there too. Somebody just said, how do you request it from your local library? You go in, you ask them for it. They say, we don't have it. And you say, can you order it for me? And most libraries will say, yes, we can. Anybody else? Questions about cortisol? Fearless birth? Eco maps? Partners. Oh, one of the things in both my class and my book, I have what I call support reports, which are like bullet point bite-size breakdowns. A lot of courses, birth courses, you do with the, with your spouse or your person. This course has a lot of personal self-work. And so I encourage people, especially when I do it in person, it's just birthing person, right? You don't bring anybody with you. We're there to be together in a group. They get get their own homework that they get to do on their own. And so the class comes with workshops that you will do, but worksheets that you will do, but also worksheets for them. You get the support reports, which are, again, bite-sized breakdowns where you can say, this is what I learned today. This is what's important. This is what you need to know. This is what I want to share with you. And the worksheets are color-coded differently, so you don't accidentally pick up your person's worksheet and they don't pick up yours, because some of it is, you know, personal and might not be something that you want to share. Maybe you do, but you're not ready to share it yet. So it's yeah, it's like I said, my background is in psychology, so we do all of this from a mental, mind first, then body perspective. No questions?
Any questions? Anybody can ask any questions? Now will be the time. We're wrapping up. We got 5 minutes to go. If you got any questions, definitely drop them in the chat.
You can always email me or, you know, send me a DM if you think of something later. Yeah, if something comes up in the middle of the night or tomorrow and you're like, oh man, why didn't I ask this? You can always
We got some stuff in the chat. Let's see.
okay.
Seminar, great info. Can you talk
Purple pushing.
Perfect.
I'm actually not familiar. Can you say a little bit more? Maybe I know it by a different name. Oh, okay.
Ah,
So you know, I'm not gonna say everything works for everyone or definitely don't do something. You're gonna have to feel it out in your body and feel what works for you. I am going to I'm going to use a little bit of adult language right here. I hope that's okay with everybody.
let me pause the let me stop the video.
Oh, okay. That's smart. Okay.
All right.